Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we are diving deep into the world of Washington quarters and uncovering 6 of the most valuable and rare Washington quarter dollar coins ever struck by the United States Mint. These coins are not only a symbol of American history but also prized possessions for numismatists across the globe. Some of them have fetched hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars in auctions and private sales. So if you've got a stash of quarters lying around, you might want to check them. You could be sitting on a fortune. Let's get started with number 6 on our list. We are diving deep into one of the most intriguing modern coins in American numismatics, the 1983 Washington quarter dollar. Yes, you heard that right. A coin from 1983 that you might have sitting in your change jar could be worth a surprising amount of money. But what makes this seemingly ordinary quarter so special? Let us break it all down. We will start with the history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as a one-year commemorative coin to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. However, it was so well received that it became the permanent design for the quarter. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile portrait of George Washington with the word Liberty above his head, the national motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date of mintage below. Now fast forward to 1983. The United States Mint was producing coins at its Denver facility, resulting in coins marked with the D Mint mark, which stands for Denver. This was during a time when the U.S. Mint was dealing with a copper shortage and inflation. Because of that, all circulating quarters from that time were struck in copper-nickel clad composition with no silver content at all. It is important to remember that no mint sets were produced in 1982 or 1983, making high-quality examples from these years much harder to find. That brings us to the main reason the 1983 quarter is so special. Most coins from 1983 circulated heavily. Because there were no official mint sets, many coins from this year show significant wear. That makes uncirculated examples, especially those with strong strikes and full detail, extremely valuable today. Collectors often pay a premium just to get a coin in pristine condition from this year. Now let us talk about the value. A regular 1983 Washington quarter that has been in circulation with visible signs of wear is typically worth its face value, which is 25 cents. But if you have one in exceptional condition, things change quickly. Coins that are in mint state condition, often graded MS60 or above by third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch between $5 and $15 depending on eye appeal, luster and strike quality. A coin graded MS65 might go for $30 or more. If you are lucky enough to own a coin graded MS67, you could be looking at upwards of $300 to $400. And there are some rare examples graded MS68 that have sold for over $1,000 at auction, but wait, there is more. Let us talk about the errors. Some 1983 quarters were struck off-center or show double die characteristics. An off-center strike can increase a coin's value substantially depending on how dramatic the misalignment is. A 10% off-center coin might bring $50, but one that is 30% or more off-center can easily fetch over $100. There is also a rare and valuable die break error known as the cut error, where a piece of the die breaks off and leaves a raised area on the coin. These errors can bring in a few $100s if they are prominent and well defined, but the most famous error on the 1983 quarter is the so-called spitting eagle variety. This is found on the reverse side, where a small die gouge appears to show something coming from the eagle's mouth. Though more common on the 1983 Philadelphia issue, it can appear on the Denver version too, and collectors love to hunt these down. Now, how do you check your coin's worth? First, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and examine the coin for any signs of wear or errors. If it looks sharp and detailed with no signs of circulation, you might be holding a mint state coin. Next, look at the mint mark. If there is a small D to the right of Washington's ponytail, you are looking at a Denver minted quarter. Then check online auction sites, coin grading guides, or recent sales from certified coin dealers to get a better estimate of your coin's potential value. So, what is the current market like in 2025? The demand for high-grade Washington quarters, especially from the early 80s, remains strong. Because there are fewer quality examples in existence, collectors are still willing to pay top dollar for the best specimens. As of now, a graded MS67 coin regularly sells for over $300, and rare MS68 examples continue to fetch $1,000 or more in top auctions. Error coins and unique varieties are also increasing in popularity, with some spitting eagle and cut errors gaining higher prices year after year. If you are searching for a way to make some money from your coin collection or even your pocket change, be on the lookout for a 1983 D Washington quarter in excellent shape. That small coin could be worth more than you think. Check those rolls, check your drawers, and ask your family if they have any old coins lying around. You never know what treasure might be waiting. To recap, the 1983 D Washington quarter is valuable because it was never included in official mint sets. Most examples saw heavy use and high-quality specimens are hard to find. Add in some rare error varieties and you have a coin that modern collectors are willing to pay serious money for. So whether you are a beginner collector or a seasoned pro, the 1983 D quarter deserves a special place in your collection, or at the very least a second glance next time you spot one. If you're a coin collector, history enthusiast, or someone who just stumbled upon an old quarter in your change jar and wondered if it's worth more than 25 cents, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving deep into the 1990 D Washington quarter dollar. We're talking about the history, hidden errors, current market value, and how some of these coins could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So sit back, grab your favorite drink, and let's take a journey through one of America's most iconic coins. Section 1. The history of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. Designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, this coin was never supposed to be a permanent piece. Initially, it was only planned as a one-year commemorative coin, but it became so popular that it ended up replacing the standing Liberty quarter permanently. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. It has undergone several changes and modernizations over the decades, but the core design stayed consistent up until the state quarters program in 1999. By the time we get to 1990, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 50 years. However, what makes the 1990 D quarter interesting isn't just its age, but its production details, mint mark, and the errors that make certain examples extremely valuable. Section 2. The Denver Mint and the 1990 D mint mark. The 1990 Washington quarter was minted at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Denver. The quarter with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. In 1990, the Denver Mint struck an estimated 927 million Washington quarters with the D mint mark. That's a massive number, which usually means that the coin would not be considered rare. But here's where things get interesting. Not all quarters are created equal, and among these nearly billion coins, some were struck with errors or high-quality finishes that can make them significantly more valuable to collectors today. Section 3. Common and rare errors in the 1990 D quarter. Let's talk about what makes a 1990 D quarter worth more than face value. Error coins and varieties are some of the most sought-after items in numismatics. Some of the most notable errors for the 1990 D quarter include the following. Number 1. Off-center strikes. When a coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, you get an off-center error. The more off-center the coin is, without losing the full date and mint mark, the more valuable it becomes. An off-center 1990 D quarter could sell for anywhere between $20 to over $100 depending on severity. Number 2. Double die errors. These happen when the coin die itself has a doubled image. While no extremely well-known double die varieties have been confirmed for the 1990 D quarter, collectors are still on the lookout for subtle doubling, especially in the motto "In God We Trust" or the word "Liberty." Number 3. Clipped planchets. This occurs when a blank metal disc used to make the coin is cut incorrectly. The result is a coin that looks like it has a bite taken out of it. These types of errors can fetch $50 to $200 or more, depending on how dramatic the clip is. Number 4. Die cracks and cuds. These are minor but collectible errors. A die crack appears as a raised line on the surface of the coin, while a cud is a large lump that occurs when a piece of the die breaks off. These imperfections can increase a coin's value, especially when they appear on key design elements like Washington's face or the eagle on the reverse. Section 4. Proof coins and high-grade examples. Now let's talk about proof coins and high-grade specimens. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and are struck using polished dies and planchets to give them a mirror-like finish. These were not minted in Denver, but it's worth understanding the difference when comparing coins. For circulation coins like the 1990 D quarter, condition is everything. If you happen to find a coin in pristine condition with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, it might be worth getting graded. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS-67 or higher can fetch a significant premium. In fact, a 1990 D Washington quarter graded MS-68 by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC has been known to sell for over $500 or more at auction. Section 5. Current market value. Let's get into what you really want to know. How much is the 1990 D Washington quarter worth today? If your coin is in average circulated condition with no errors, it's probably worth just face value, 25 cents. But if your coin is in uncirculated condition, the value starts to increase. In Mint State 60, you might expect anywhere from $1 to $5. In higher grades, like Mint State 66 or 67, the coin could be worth $20 to several $100. Error coins and varieties, as we discussed, can be worth significantly more. Off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, and die cuts can push the price to $50, $100, even several $100 depending on rarity and condition. As of the latest coin auctions and sales reports, high-grade examples and dramatic errors of the 1990 D quarter are in demand, particularly among modern coin collectors who are trying to assemble complete mint state sets. Section 6. How to find one and what to look for. So how can you find a valuable 1990 D Washington quarter? Start by checking your pocket change. Many valuable coins have been discovered in everyday circulation. Look for sharp details, minimal wear, and clear mint marks. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the date, lettering, and edges. Check for signs of doubling or unusual shapes that may indicate an error. If you think you have something special, consider submitting the coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can significantly increase a coin's value and make it easier to sell to collectors. Section 7. Final thoughts. So there you have it, the full story of the 1990 D Washington quarter. While most are worth only face value, certain coins with rare errors, high grades, or unique features can be worth a surprising amount of money. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned numismatist, it's always worth taking a closer look at your coins. Who knows? That quarter sitting in your change jar might just be your lucky find. We are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1997 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but holds more value than you might think. From its rich history to rare errors and market values that could surprise you, stay tuned because this is one video you do not want to miss. Intro music transition. Let us take you back to the year 1997, a year filled with pop culture, global shifts, and in the world of American currency, a year that gave us the Denver Mint's version of the Washington quarter. That little piece of metal in your change jar could be more valuable than you know. History of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. What began as a commemorative issue became a permanent coin in circulation. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile portrait of George Washington. The reverse, until 1998, showed an eagle with wings spread perched on a bundle of arrows with two olive branches beneath. In 1997, this was still the standard reverse, before the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999 that changed the game entirely. So the 1997 D quarter is the second to last year of the traditional eagleback design, making it historically significant for collectors who appreciate the classic pre-state quarter era. The 1997 D Mint mark. Now what does the D mean? That D Mint mark stands for Denver, one of the United States Mint's primary production locations alongside Philadelphia, San Francisco, and West Point. In 1997, the Denver Mint struck approximately 599 million Washington quarters. That might sound like a lot, and it is, but don't let the high mintage fool you. Within that huge number are coins that stand out for their condition, rarity, and errors. What makes the 1997 D quarter valuable? Let's talk about value. A standard circulated 1997 D quarter is worth face value, 25 cents. However, certain factors can dramatically raise its value. These include mint errors, high-grade uncirculated examples, and coins with full strike details. So what should you look for? First, check for minting errors. Some examples include off-center strikes, double dies on the obverse or reverse, clipped planchets, and die cracks. A 1997 D quarter with a strong double die obverse can fetch tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on its condition. Another key aspect is the grade. Coins are graded from 1 to 70 on the Sheldon scale. A 1997 D quarter graded at MS65 or higher can be worth several dollars. But if you find one at MS67 or higher, certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, it can reach over $100 or more. These higher-grade coins are rare because they were never circulated and were preserved in pristine condition from the time they were minted, and then there is the ultimate prize, a perfect MS70 grade. These are nearly impossible to find, but if one exists and is certified, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right collector. Auction highlights. Let us take a look at recent auction data. In past years, 1997 D quarters in top condition have sold at Heritage Auctions, eBay, and Great Collections for impressive prices. One example graded MS68 by PCGS sold for over $200, and that is for a modern clad coin. In the world of numismatics, that is big money for a coin minted in the late 90s, some error coins have also drawn attention. A known double die obverse with noticeable doubling in the words Liberty and In God We Trust was auctioned for over $150, even though the coin had slight wear. Tips for finding valuable coins. So how can you find one? Start by checking your pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, and even quarter jars at home. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for errors. Look at the lettering, the date, the edges, and especially George Washington's profile. The sharper and clearer the design, the better your chances of having a high-grade coin. How to preserve and grade your coin. If you believe you found a valuable coin, do not clean it. Cleaning can drastically reduce a coin's value. Place it in a protective holder or coin flip and consider submitting it to a grading service. The cost to grade is worth it if the coin is potentially valuable. Current market value in 2025. As of this year, in 2025, the current market for the 1997 D quarter remains active. Circulated examples are still worth face value, but uncirculated examples, especially in higher grades, can sell for $10 to $25. Premium grade coins, with near-perfect strike and minimal contact marks, can reach between $100 and $250, especially if sold in the right venue. Errors, especially double dies and misstrikes, remain hot items. Collectors are always looking for dramatic errors that are clearly visible without magnification. Those can sell for anywhere from $50 to $500 depending on visibility and rarity. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 1997 D Washington quarter might seem like just another coin in your pocket, but with the right knowledge, a keen eye, and a little bit of luck, it could be worth far more than 25 cents. Whether you are a beginner collector or a seasoned numismatist, coins like this remind us that treasures can still be found in everyday change. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to discover what your coins are really worth. And remember, always check your change. We talk everything about coins, currency, collectibles, and cash. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on a valuable piece of information that might be hiding in your pocket change. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2002 P&D Washington State quarters. That's right, those everyday coins that you might have sitting in a jar at home or jingling around in your car could actually be worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Stick around because you might be surprised to learn how much these coins can sell for and why collectors are always on the lookout for specific errors and mint conditions. Let's begin by going back to the origin of this series. The Washington Quarter program originally started in 1932, but in the late 1990s a major change came to the design and production of the quarter. This was due to the launch of the 50 State Quarters program by the United States Mint in 1999. This popular program featured 5 new designs every year, with each design representing a different state in the order that they ratified the Constitution or were admitted into the Union. It was a groundbreaking move by the Mint to create more interest in coin collecting, and it worked tremendously. Millions of people across the United States began collecting quarters from each state. In 2002, the United States Mint released 5 new quarters, which included Tennessee, Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana, and Mississippi. The 2002 quarters come in 2 mint marks. The letter P stands for the Philadelphia Mint and the letter D stands for the Denver Mint. These are the 2 major production facilities where the state quarters were made. The 2002 P and 2002 D Washington quarters are particularly interesting for several reasons, and we'll explore each of them in terms of design, minting statistics, errors, and collector value. Let's talk first about the designs for the year. Each of the 5 quarters released in 2002 carries a unique reverse design representing one of the states. Ohio, for instance, features an astronaut and the Wright Flyer to celebrate its contribution to aviation and space exploration. Louisiana features a pelican, a trumpet, and a musical score referencing jazz and the Louisiana Purchase. Indiana includes a race car to represent the Indianapolis 500. Tennessee showcases 3 musical instruments representing its diverse musical heritage, and Mississippi includes 2 beautiful magnolia blossoms, which is the state flower. Now let's get into minting numbers. The 2002 quarters were produced in large numbers, but that does not mean they are all common. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 300 million quarters for each of the 5 designs. The Denver Mint also produced hundreds of millions of coins. While these numbers seem massive, remember that most of these quarters entered general circulation and were subject to wear and tear. Coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS-65 and above, are significantly harder to find and are worth a lot more to collectors. What really makes certain 2002 quarters valuable are the error coins. Error coins are mistakes made during the minting process, and they're highly sought after. Some examples include double die obverse, double die reverses, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and missing clad layers. For example, a 2002 P Mississippi quarter with an off-center strike can fetch anywhere from $50 to $100 depending on the degree of the error and the overall condition of the coin. Double die errors on the Louisiana or Indiana quarters can also bring in a solid premium, sometimes even reaching $200 or $300 when certified by a top grading company. But wait, there's more. Another important factor is the coin's grade. A coin in mint state 60 is nice, but if you manage to get a 2002 P or D quarter graded MS-67 or higher, the value can jump dramatically. Some MS-67 examples of the 2002 Ohio and Indiana quarters have sold for over $100 at auction. Higher grades such as MS-68 are extremely rare and can fetch anywhere from $500 to $1,000 or even more depending on demand and the specific design. The reason why high grades are so valuable is simple. Out of millions of coins minted, only a tiny fraction survive in flawless condition. Now let's talk about proof coins. The United States Mint also produced special proof sets for collectors. These coins are struck multiple times on polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish and sharper details. There are regular proof sets made of standard clad material and silver proof sets made of 90% silver. The 2002 silver proof quarters are especially popular with collectors. A full 5-coin silver proof set from 2002 in original government packaging can sell for $30 to $40 or more today. Individual silver proof quarters can bring in $5 to $10 each depending on the state and condition. Let's shift gears and talk about the current market value. As of now, in mid-2025, the average circulated 2002 P or D quarter is still worth face value, which is 25 cents. But uncirculated examples, especially those in higher mint state grades, can be worth anywhere from $1 to $10 each depending on the design and mint mark. Error coins and proof coins, as we mentioned, can go much higher. So always be on the lookout and check your pocket change. You never know when you might come across a quarter that looks a little odd or has unusually sharp detail. It might just be worth a small fortune. So what should you do if you find a 2002 quarter that looks valuable? First, give it a good look under natural light or use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling in the lettering or design elements. Check the edges to see if the clad layers are complete. If the coin looks flawless, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yes, it does cost money to get coins graded, but for high-value coins it can be totally worth it, especially if it boosts the coin's resale price. Also consider joining an online coin community or local club. You'll find that the world of coin collecting is filled with helpful and knowledgeable people who can help you identify rare finds, and there you have it, folks. The story of the 2002 Washington quarters from the Philadelphia and Denver mints is more than just pocket change. With the right condition and the right era, your 25-cent coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So the next time you're handed change at the grocery store or find an old coin jar in your closet, take a moment to check those quarters. It might just pay off big time. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below if you have any rare quarters in your collection. We love hearing your stories and might even feature your coin in an upcoming video. Don't forget to subscribe for more content on coins, collectibles, and how to turn spare change into treasure. We are diving deep into the fascinating world of modern coinage to uncover the hidden secrets and value behind one of the most surprising coins in recent U.S. mint history. That coin is the 2004 P Wisconsin State Quarter. Now you might be thinking, what could possibly be so special about a quarter minted just a couple decades ago? Well, buckle up, because this story involves a mysterious minting error, controversial rumors among collectors, and a coin that might be sitting in your pocket change worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let us begin by understanding the background of the coin itself. The Wisconsin quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which began in 1999 and ran through 2008. Each year 5 new quarters were released honoring a different U.S. state in the order that they joined the Union. In 2004, Wisconsin was one of the featured states, and the quarter released to honor it featured a highly symbolic design on the reverse side of the coin, which is the back of the quarter. You will see 3 distinct elements: an ear of corn on the left, a round of cheese on the bottom, and a detailed image of a cow on the right. These represent Wisconsin's pride as America's dairyland, known for its agricultural contributions, especially dairy and cheese production. Above the design you will see the word Wisconsin and the year 1848, which is the year Wisconsin achieved statehood. Now here is where things get very interesting. Shortly after the 2004 Wisconsin quarters were released to the public, collectors began noticing something unusual. Some of the quarters had what appeared to be an extra leaf on the corn stalk. Yes, you heard that right, an extra leaf, but not just one variety of this extra leaf existed. There were actually 2 distinct versions of the error. One version had what collectors call a high leaf, the other had a low leaf. The extra leaf error appears below the left side of the ear of corn, and depending on its position it is classified as either high or low. These coins were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark, and are commonly referred to as the 2004 P Wisconsin Extra Leaf Quarters. Now the real mystery is, how did this error happen? Some experts believe it was an intentional alteration by a rogue mint worker. Others think it was an unintentional gouge in the die that was not noticed during the quality control process. Regardless of how it happened, these errors made it into circulation and have become one of the most famous modern coin errors in U.S. history. Because the Wisconsin Extra Leaf Quarters are technically varieties, not every 2004 Wisconsin quarter has them. Only a limited number were discovered, and that scarcity has made them extremely valuable. So how much money are we talking about? Let us break down the current market value as of now. High-grade examples of the Extra Leaf High or Extra Leaf Low can sell for hundreds and in some cases over $1,000 each, depending on their condition. A circulated coin with somewhere might fetch anywhere between $100 to $250. If you happen to find one in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks brand new, it could sell for $500 to even over $1,000. And in some rare cases, coins that have been professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC and received a top rating such as MS67 or higher have sold for over $1,500. At auction, that is right, a single quarter, just 25 cents, could potentially be worth more than $1,000. So what should you be looking for? First, pull out any 2004 Wisconsin quarters from your change jar, coin collection, or wherever you keep your spare change. Check for the P Mint mark, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Then carefully examine the left side of the corn stalk on the reverse of the coin. Look closely at the bottom of the corn where an extra leaf might appear. The high leaf version shows the leaf curving upward, almost touching the cheese wheel. The low leaf version shows a downward curved leaf. closer to the cow if you think you might have found one. You can take it to a local coin dealer, or better yet send it in for professional grading and authentication. It is always best to get expert verification before trying to sell it, especially if you want to list it on platforms like eBay or through auction houses. Speaking of eBay, there are dozens of listings every month where 2004P Wisconsin extra leaf quarters are bought and sold, but beware of fakes. Make sure you only purchase coins from reputable sellers who provide high-resolution images and offer return policies or certificates of authenticity. As of the most recent market data, extra leaf quarters in excellent condition continue to be highly sought after by collectors, and values are holding strong. Some numismatists believe that as more collectors enter the hobby and as fewer of these quarters remain in circulation, the price could go even higher in the future. So in conclusion, the 2004P Wisconsin quarter might seem like just another coin at first glance, but its hidden varieties and rare mint errors make it one of the most exciting finds in recent numismatic history. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a beginner just checking your change, this is one coin you absolutely want to be on the lookout for. So check your pockets, check your jars, and check your collections, because that one little quarter could turn out to be a small fortune. We are diving into the fascinating story behind the 2020P Washington quarter dollar coin. This is more than just spare change. You may have one of these in your pocket or coin jar right now and not even realize its true worth, so make sure to watch until the very end, because we are uncovering what makes this coin special, how to spot valuable varieties, and what the current market is paying for these incredible coins. Now let us begin with a little bit of background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in the year 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. That first version showed Washington's bust on the front or obverse and the iconic eagle on the back or reverse. Over the decades, the quarter saw several redesigns, but in 1999 the United States Mint launched the legendary 50-state quarters program, which became one of the most successful coin collecting series in modern history. Fast forward to the year 2020, this was the final year of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, and one of the most sought-after releases in that year was the 2020P Washington quarter, specifically the ones minted in Philadelphia. These coins feature a special reverse design known as the National Park of American Samoa, which shows two Samoan fruit bats hanging from a tree. This design was chosen to raise awareness of species conservation and the uniqueness of Samoan wildlife. Now here is where things get exciting. Not all 2020P quarters are created equal. Some have mint errors or rare varieties that can skyrocket their value far beyond 25 cents. Let us talk about those next. One of the most famous and valuable varieties of the 2020P quarter is the double die. These coins show clear doubling in the letters or numbers, especially on words like liberty and in God We Trust. You can often see the doubling with the naked eye, but using a coin loop or magnifier will give you a better look. These double die errors can sell anywhere from $50 to several hundred depending on the condition. Another hot variety is the die chip or cut error. This happens when a piece of the die breaks off and leaves a raised blob or area on the coin. The 2020P quarter is known to have several die chip locations, including near the mouth of the bat or on the wings. Collectors love these because each one is unique and they can fetch anywhere from $5 to $50 or more. And then there is the strike-through error. This occurs when something like grease or a piece of debris gets between the die and the coin blank, which results in a distorted image. If you find a quarter that looks like it is missing details or has strange indentations, it could be a valuable strike-through error. Prices for these range widely depending on how dramatic the error is. Let us now talk about condition and grading, because the better shape your coin is and the higher the value it can command. Uncirculated coins or mint state coins graded by PCGS or NGC can sell for a premium. A 2020P quarter in MS67 or higher condition has sold for over $200 at auction. These high-grade coins are rare because most quarters enter circulation and get worn down fast. So what is the current market value of a regular 2020P quarter in circulated condition with no error? It is still worth face value, but if it is in extremely fine or uncirculated condition, you might get $1 to $5 from collectors just looking to complete a set. Now if you find a coin with one of the major errors we talked about, it is time to celebrate, because you might be holding a hidden treasure. There have been verified eBay and Heritage Auctions listings where these error coins went for $200, $300 and even up to $600. Let us go over a few examples from the market. In late 2024, a 2020P double die quarter in MS66 condition sold for $365. Another quarter with a large die chip near the bat's wing sold for $75. Even in circulated condition and a dramatic grease strike through error sold for over $150 now. You might be wondering how to tell if your coin is valuable. Here are the steps to check your 2020 P quarter. First, look at the mint mark. You are looking for the letter P, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. Next, check the reverse side for the fruit bat's design. Then examine the coin closely for any errors, like doubling or raised lumps or missing features. Use a magnifier or jeweler's loupe if you have one. If your coin looks promising, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service or list it online for collectors to evaluate. Before we wrap up, here is a fun fact. The 2020 P bat quarter went viral on social media during the pandemic because people found the bat design oddly symbolic for the times that pop culture interest gave this coin a burst of collector attention and made it even more desirable. So there you have it. The 2020 P Washington quarter dollar is not just a simple piece of metal. It is a small work of art, a piece of American history, and in some cases a valuable collectible worth real money. Check your pockets, dig through your change, and see if you have one of these quarters hiding in plain sight. It could be the start of a great coin collecting journey or just a cool way to make some extra cash. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin tips and rare coin alerts, and let me know in the comments if you have found any 2020 P quarters and what kind of condition they are in. Until next time, happy collecting and good luck hunting.